on the gridiron or courtside, you know what time it is. It's
Sports plus life. Sports plus life.
ringside or front court or field pass, we ballin', no. Knuckle up or buckle up, I tell it like it is when I'm on my show. Home run, slam dunk, knockout, or got some dough.
Sports plus life.
Yeah.
Sports plus life.
Yo, 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 yo! What's up? What is really good? It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. You heard me? Oh, and you better believe it's going down today, bruh. So guess what? Turn it off, turn it off, turn off the goddamn music right now. Oh, I'm picking up right where I left off on my Facebook when I had to have my Facebook live rant. Oh, did you see the football game yesterday? The 1 o'clock professional football contest. Oh, wait a minute. Let me scale back just a bit. Please allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life, that there sports podcast where we talk about all of the necessary topics in sports and all of the necessary topics in life. Well, howdy fucking do. Oh boy. Okay, before I get into the sports, I would like to say how much of a good time that I had at the football game on Saturday. Ended up being Saturday again. Between Highland Springs and Verona, I ran into some of my classmates, but had a good time, you know. Was with Sean and his daughter, and then Rob and Heather and their kids, and then running into Chantel, my boy Chris Pitts, a few more people. Man, I had a really good time. It was chilly out there, and unfortunately, we lost the game 7-6. I mean, I believe that's our season. I hate losing. Y'all know I hate losing to Verona. But boy, what was it made up to me yesterday? Oh my goodness. It is a crisp fall day in the Richmond, VA. It really is. It's about like 62 degrees. Feel good. Feel very good. Feel very good today. It felt even better yesterday. Oh my goodness gracious. But again, let me show my Springer fam some love. Keep them love bombs rolling. Keep that positivity going. Unless you're a Dallas Cowboy fan. Oh, I don't give a damn what y'all do the rest of the season, because goddamn it, you lost to my team. Oh man. Oh boy, I don't know. Tony might want to take the day off today. He may want to take the day off today because I'm going to go. I get him on his phone. I'm gonna get him. And without further ado, let's get to it. Well. 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 You know, I would actually like to say that I watched the entire game between the Denver Broncos and the Dallas Cowboys, but I couldn't. Do you know why? Because the network took the game off because it was so fucking lopsided. You know it's bad when the network changes it to another game, because this was, I quote, with the Denver Broncos up 30-0 in Dallas, we will take you to a more competitive game. Wait a minute. The number 1 ranked offense in the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys, were down 30-0. God damn! With 5 minutes left to go in the game. to my Denver Broncos, who for all intents and purposes last week looked like we were waving the white flag even after coming off of a victory against Washington. We traded Von Miller. We tried to trade Kyle Fuller, which I'm glad that we didn't. But man, the Broncos ain't got a snowball's chance in hell against the Dallas Cowboys. And they got back Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, who didn't play the previous Sunday night because what was his name? Cooper Rush came and they beat the Minnesota Vikings. And Dallas fans are like, oh yeah, this is our year. We winning games with Cooper Rush. Oh boy, did y'all asses just get smacked back down to earth and reality.
Get your damn act together yourself.
What?
Okay? Settle down just a little bit.
Shut up. No, I won't get my act together. Because we kicked the stuffing out of y'all. I mean, let's think about this now, right? Like I said, Dak Prescott was back. Right. I don't want to hear about Will Rusty. I don't care if the man ain't played no preseason at all following his gruesome injury and been playing lights out all season. Even in their one loss to Tampa Bay, he played great. But, yeah, we whooped that ass. How she say? How she say the character from Medea? Whoop that ass. That's what we did. So you had Dak. He was there. Check him off. You had Zeke. He was there. Check that off. Was Amari Cooper there? Yep, he was there too. Check that off. CeeDee Lamb? Yep, he was there too. Dalton Schultz? Yep, he was there too. But yet and still, with 5 minutes to go in the game, the Dallas Cowboys were down 30-0 to my Denver Broncos. Was defense there? Was Dallas defense there? The vastly improved Dallas defense. And once again, I will say their defense has made strides of improvement, but they're an opportunistic defense, which is nothing wrong with that, but they didn't have no opportunities yesterday. Oh, Trayvon Diggs, right? Trayvon Diggs may possibly win Defensive Player of the Year. Was getting fried yesterday. Biatch. Fried. We targeted him. And he got smoked all day by Tim Patrick, by Jerry Jeudy, by Kendall Hinton, by Cortland Sutton. We fried your ass, bitch. The vitriol that was coming from Cowboy fans at me. Look, like I said on my Facebook Live yesterday, I ain't bothered nobody all week. The only time I talked about the upcoming football game between Dallas and Denver was last week when I did my podcast when I was talking with Tony about it. That's the only time I said something. The rest of the week, I was chill. I was quiet. I ain't pumped my chest out. Only thing I said was at the football game was, ooh, don't let us beat y'all. Because y'all was coming at my neck all week. Oh, we gonna beat Denver. Really? And there's another thing that I have to remind you guys of. September 10th, 1995. And I said this last week on the show. Oh, why the hell not? What we got to lose? Cowboys ain't beat us since 1995. Guess you're going to have to wait a few more years for that one, too, because we bust your ass. Excellent. We bust your, y'all didn't, matter of fact, if you don't have Red Zone, you didn't see Dallas score. Think about that. If you don't have Red Zone and you were just watching the game on Fox, you ain't see him score because they took the game off because you were down 30-0. Don't let them two little punk-ass touchdowns make you think that the game was any closer than it was. It was not. But when it's 30-0 and it's 5 minutes left in the game, you take all your starters out. You're lucky Dak ass didn't get hurt, keeping him in the game for what? So he can get empty calorie yards and stats? Because that's what he do. That's what Dak Prescott does. That's what he did. Now, up to this point in this season, that hasn't been the case. But previously in his career, that's what he do. He throwing for 400 yards because you're down by 4 touchdowns and you have to try to get back in the game. Bruh, I am so proud of my football team. I don't give a damn what Dallas does the rest of the season because, goddammit, you lost to my team. You lost to my team, okay? And in your house, y'all was fully loaded, and we beat the brakes off of you. And To me, the biggest turning point was that block punt. That block punt. Now, that was a crazy fluky play. But when that happened, when I saw the punt block, first thing I said was, uh-oh. But when I saw it skim off a Dallas dude hand and our guy picked it up and started running with it, I said, hold up, that's supposed to be our ball. I'm being dead serious. I said, that's supposed to be our ball. Because the punt went past the line of scrimmage, and that's what everybody is tripping about because they don't understand the rule. Well, how can we block the punt? We touch it, and then y'all end up recovering it. How could that happen? Because usually when you block a punt, the punt goes backwards. For whatever reason, maybe it was just our day, maybe that was Jesus. But for whatever reason, the punt went forward past the line of scrimmage, and the receiving team cannot touch it unless they pick it up and run, because it's just as if he had punted it 60 yards and it went off of Cedric Wilson's foot. Say it bumped his foot or something. It's a live football. We can recover it. I mean, and it was already 16-0. I mean, it's not like it was 0-0 and that play happened. We already was shutting your ass out. This was the third quarter. Now, like I said, when the block punt came, I said, uh-oh, here we go. And I was like, wait a minute. I think that's our ball. That was just a microcosm of things to come because we whooped y'all ass. And there are people out there trying to crap on my victory, like my own uncle. Love you dearly. I'm gonna say we beat an overrated team. Well, I don't disagree with that. I do believe the Cowboys are overrated. But because I think he was feeling some type of way because his Raiders lost to the Giants. Yeah, a team that we smashed. Yeah, the Raiders lost to the Giants. The Raiders did beat us. Yes, they did. But you lost to the Giants. And this is what I told him in the text yesterday. I said, whatever you going through, and I understand they done been through it with John Gruden. They gone through it with Henry Ruggs. But if you're a good team, you beat bad teams. The Giants are a bad team. You're supposed to win that game, okay? Good teams beat bad teams. I said, Unc, you coming off real weak right now. With all of these lame duck-ass excuses, the bottom line is, so any given Sunday, anybody knows that. I mean, good Lord, Buffalo lost to Jacksonville yesterday. We know that, but don't come across as weak now because your Raiders lost a game that you should not have lost. You lost a game that you should have won. We dominated a game that we were picked to lose. And say what you will, I was never pumping my chest out of being 3-0 because we were beating bottom feeders. As soon as our competition got harder, we started losing games. We beat Washington last week. Nothing was impressive about it. But then we take on the team that a lot of people said was the best in football. Really now? Really? How about them Broncos, biatch? And the beautiful thing is, we're 5-4. We're right in the thick of things because the AFC is so nuts. It's so bananas right now. So now I'm going to get into the scores now. Thursday night's game was a joke. The Colts destroyed the Jets. Boy, I don't know if Jet fans were feeling themselves after what Mike White did against the Bengals, but maybe as we're starting to find out, maybe the Bengals are not who we thought they were. The Colts won 45-30. I stopped watching the game when it was like 45-7. Yes, and now getting into Sunday's game, I've already gone into detail about the ass kicking that my Denver Broncos did over the Dallas Cowboys. I'm sure you'll hear more about this with me and Tony talking. Don't take Tony, bro. Come on at your own risk, because I am not gonna let up. I'm gonna be ruthless. But on to other games. The Cleveland Browns. Remember, I did a Friday podcast the day that Odell Beckham Jr. got released. I don't know what it is. Again, for whatever reason, Baker Mayfield plays good football without Odell Beckham, so maybe the best thing was for them to do was to part ways. And they stomped the Bengals in Cincinnati 41-16. I mean, this is how crazy the AFC is. 2 weeks ago, we were talking about Cincinnati. Cincinnati was the number 1 seed 2 weeks ago at 5-2. Now they're 5-4. And the Cleveland Browns are also 5-4. To other game nobody really cared about. Dolphins beat the Texans. Tua dislocated his finger. He doesn't play. They win. Yikes. Tyrod Taylor comes back, and the Texans still lose. And then the Falcons defeat the New Orleans Saints. Now, ain't this a bitch? Because every time, whenever I pick the Atlanta Falcons to win, they wet the bed. They totally wet the bed. Now they go into New Orleans, granted, Trevor Siemian, not Jameis Winston, and the Saints blew an opportunity because they could have took first place by themselves in the NFC South, virtue of them beating Tampa Bay last week. I mean, how the hell does Tom Brady get all the great luck and he ain't even playing a game? I mean, you think about all of the MVP candidates. Matt Stafford looked like crap. Dak Prescott looked like crap. Who else? Kyler Murray didn't play. And out of all of that stuff, Tom Brady doesn't play, and he probably is now the leading contender to be the MVP. Aaron Rodgers with his lying ass. He ain't play either. I mean, but so the Saints lose 27-25 to the Falcons. Again, I already mentioned how the Giants upset the Raiders 23-16. The New England Patriots, remember I told y'all look out for them. They played the Carolina Panthers, and they beat the Panthers 24-6. New England is undefeated on the road this year. They are 4-0. Like I said, they're a 5-4 team. Look out for them. So, again, at the beginning of this season, did not want to summarily hand that AFC East division over to the Buffalo Bills. And at first, let's say at the first 3-4 weeks of the season, it looked like, yeah, well, I may have to. Untrue, because the Patriots are now on the rise. The Buffalo Bills lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars yesterday, 9-6. Really? So the Patriots they're not only back in play for a wild card spot, they're back in play for the division. They're only a half game out of that division. They still got to see Buffalo. The Patriots, I'm telling you, watch them. Bill Belichick got them boys playing now. The Baltimore Ravens came from behind to beat the Minnesota Vikings 34-31 in overtime. Yo, does anybody in the NFL play more overtime games than the Minnesota Vikings? And they find a way to lose. Like, they should still be ashamed of themselves for losing to Cooper Rush last week. They should be a flat-out shame. You should watch our game footage against Dallas. That's how you beat them. That's what I'm telling everybody. Watch the Broncos game footage of the Cowboys. That's how you kick their ass. That's how you do it. Okay? And the Los Angeles Chargers kicked the field goal at the gun to defeat the Philadelphia Eagles, who Philadelphia has been playing a lot better football since Nick Sirianni made his dummy press conference about dirt and seeds and earthworms and shit like that. The game that was supposed to be a main event game between the Chiefs and the Packers, we all know Aaron Rodgers caught the COVID. We'll get into that a little later too, because people was coming at Stephen A. Smith neck about his treatment of Aaron Rodgers as opposed to his treatment of Kyrie Irving. Stephen A. did himself proud today. I'm proud of it because Aaron Rodgers right now looks like a flat-out diva-ass joke right now. He probably won't be suspended. He'll probably be back next week. But bottom line is Aaron Rodgers is a liar. Like I said, we'll get into that later. The Arizona Cardinals at the last minute had to scratch Kyler Murray from the game because of an injury, and they played the San Francisco 49ers, and they didn't miss a beat, 31-17. The Cardinals are now 8-1. They bounced back from that Thursday night loss. Again, Kyle Shanahan, and I've been saying this since the beginning of this football season. I did not believe in the 49ers. I know they were supposed to be in the toughest division in football, but I said if anybody misses out from that division, it will be the 49ers. You better start looking at Kyle Shanahan, because outside of the 2019 season, the 49ers have stunk under his watch. I'm just calling a spade a spade. The 49ers have now lost their last 9 consecutive home games. Really? Where they do that at? They've lost their last 9 home games. I mean, so what is home field advantage if you can't win there? Dallas Cowboys. Anyway, and honestly, another shocker of the day, and a day of shockers, the Tennessee Titans, without Derrick Henry, go to SoFi, and they beat up the Rams. They beat up the Rams 28-16, may not be the score. Well, really? No, if you watch the game, Matthew Stafford looked bad. Adrian, bitch, I'm not old Peterson, got him a touchdown yesterday. Ain't that something? Adrian Peterson, first game as a Tennessee Titan, came and got him a touchdown. Titans are 7-2. Mike Vrabel has that team. Mike Vrabel has that team looking eerily similar to those early day Patriot teams that he was a part of. Well coached, well disciplined, run the ball, play good defense, and your quarterback just has to be a bus driver. That's it. So as it stands right now the Tennessee Titans right now are the number 1 seed in the AFC. And like I said, the AFC is crazy right now, bro. It's really crazy. Look, so you got Tennessee at 7-2. You got Baltimore at 6-2. So right now, Tennessee would have the bye. Do I think it's going to stay like that? No. But like I said, this Tennessee, this Mike Vrabel coach team looks like those early year Bill Belichick, Tom Brady years. Again, like I just said. So you got the Titans at 7-2. You got the Ravens at 6-2. Then you just have a logjam. You do. You got a logjam. Buffalo 5-3. The Chargers 5-3. The Raiders 5-3. Then you got the Broncos and Chiefs 5-4. You got the Patriots 5-4. You got the Browns and Bengals 5-4. I mean, we were ready to bury the Pittsburgh Steelers if they beat the Chicago Bears tonight, which I think they will. I think they will. The Steelers are going to be sitting in prime position to make a run at it too, just like the Patriots. So this is crazy. I mean, it's a lot less clarity in the AFC. I mean, now the NFC, you have your 5 teams who are definitely going to make the playoffs. We don't know who the other 2 wild cards are going to be because again, Arizona back on top, 8-1, and then you have pretty much a logjam as far as seedings go because then you got Green Bay and Dallas. You got Green Bay at 7-2. You got Dallas and Tampa Bay at 6-2. Those are your division leaders. And then you got the Rams at 7-2. You know they're in there. But what's going to happen with New Orleans? Because New Orleans by virtue of tiebreaker could have been in the division lead. The Atlanta Falcons have now resurrected theirself. They're 4-4. You have Russell Wilson who's going to be coming back very soon. So it's like I said, it's just different in the AFC than it is in the NFC because like I said, we know 5 teams who are going for sure to the playoffs. We know 5 teams who are for sure going to be there. You like to say the Saints would be that 6th spot, and who knows where the 7th team is going to be. I think Seattle is actually going to make a run at it and get that spot. But as far as the AFC, big logjam. In particular, the AFC North and the AFC West, where every team in both of those divisions have winning records. That's crazy, right? In the AFC West and the AFC North, all 4 teams in each division have winning records. Not nobody 500 or anything like that. They all have winning records. So, I mean, it ain't enough playoff spots for all of these teams that are above 500 in the AFC. It just ain't. But let me get back to Aaron Rodgers right quick. I just gotta get back to Aaron Rodgers because, like I said, he'll probably be back next week when they play Seattle. But I saw the little interview that he did on Pat McAfee, I guess, trying to explain himself. This is what I've noticed about Aaron Rodgers. He clearly is a guy who does not like to be wrong, and he doesn't take any type of criticism very well. I can just tell that about him. Because to sit there and say, well, first of all, I didn't lie. Yes, you did. You did lie about being vaccinated because the reporter on August 26th asked you a direct damn question. Have you been vaccinated? And you said, yeah. Pause. I've been immunized. And that just flew over everybody's head. You was real slick. You spun it the way you were trying to spin your explanation on Pat McAfee show. Bro, you lied. You flat out lied. And again, I'm not gonna come at you because I'm mad that you're not vaccinated. Now I've been on record and I've been consistent. I think every professional athlete should be vaccinated because of what your job duties entail of. But I'm not one of these people who's trying to divide and conquer of the vaccinated people or the unvaccinated people. I'm coming at you because you flat out lied like a bitch about it. And now you're trying to spin that too. You clearly come across as a person who likes to, 1, control the narrative, 2, does not take any type of criticism well, and 3, always has to be right. And then you try to throw a shot at Kyrie Irving saying, I'm not a flat earther. Kyrie Irving hasn't done anything to you. Kyrie Irving actually looks way better. He looks way better than you do because while Kyrie Irving has not played in any games for the Brooklyn Nets, he has been honest about everything. Now, I don't agree with the reasons why Kyrie is not being vaccinated, but I respect his decision. And he has been upfront and honest about it. So has Kirk Cousins. So has Carson Wentz. So has Lamar Jackson. So has Cole Beasley. But Aaron Rodgers, because he's Aaron Rodgers, wants to try to be slick and flat out lie in the face of the American public. How can you sit there and say, well, I didn't lie? Yes, you did. Because like I said, it was a direct damn question. Your answer just went over everybody's head because you was real slick and tricky about it. And the sad part is that the NFL is not going to deal with you the way they honestly should deal with you for lying and leading everybody on. Like I said, not the fact with me that you're unvaccinated. It's the fact that you was just so damn deceitful about it. And used a slick word that nobody caught on to. Yeah, yes, I've been immunized. No, bitch, it's a direct question. Have you been vaccinated? Yes or no? And just because you have not been vaccinated, if you're allergic to medicine that's in the vaccine, why'd you just say it? That's really all you have to do, just say it. You just did not want to take the criticism that would probably come your way. That's it. You wanted to follow your own set of rules. You wanted to have your cake and eat it too. If you're allergic to any type of medicine that's in the vaccine, there's nothing wrong with saying, well, I'm not vaccinated because of X, Y, and Z. People can understand that. People can understand that, but you flat out telling a bold-faced ass lie and then trying to spin that too. Like, dude, you look like a joke right now. Like, you really look like a clown who, again, does not like to take criticism, likes to be in control of the narrative, and quite frankly, arrogant and very privileged. Straight up. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. And, got my mans on the line. Now, I don't know how he's going to try to spin this, any given Sunday or anything else. That's cool. And because at the end of the day, his squad is still 6-2. They've won their division. Literally, they legitimately just need to win one more game to wrap up their division. But I don't give a damn because like I said on Facebook Live, like I said on the show earlier, I don't give a damn what you do the rest of the season because you lost to my team. I don't give a damn what we could lose to Philly next week. You know what? So what? Anyway, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing well, and that don't matter to me. Because I face that every year. We play the Redskins, and generally, that's the Redskins fans. At least we beat Dallas. That's Philly, same thing. At least we beat the Cowboys. That's all they care about. They don't care about the big picture. So, in the big picture, in the grand scheme of things, I don't have to put a spin on it. It's football. Any team can win any Sunday. It just depends on how bad that team wants to win. Sometimes it's about talent. Sometimes it's about simple desire. And my team showed up and sleepwalked into a game, and then they got knocked the hell out.
Knocked the hell out. Hey,
they were sleepwalking. They were lackadaisical. They didn't want to tackle people they want to tackle. But I give credit where credit is due. I'm going to say, Mr. Michael Parsons showed up to play football. That's what I sent you in the text.
Yeah.
He showed up. He played. I'm not sure why he wasn't in some of them veterans' faces saying, "Dude, what are we doing?" Ezekiel Elliott, 10 carries, 51 yards. That indicates he was on pace for his 100, until he got that helmet to the thigh deal. So, he showed up to play. Dak, Rust, it showed. It did not help. The coach, fourth down, you don't go for it. Forget analytics. Using football sense.
Well, I've been complaining about that with every team the whole season. I don't know why teams are leaving points on the board. When my team came to a situation where we were 4th and 1 at about 7, well, no, we didn't chance it. We kicked the field goal. We took the points. We turned a 2-possession lead into a 3-possession lead. And it's not, that's just not a Dallas Cowboy thing. Like I said, that shit has been driving me crazy.
What's the other reason why you kicked the field goal? See, everybody on boards that don't know anybody want to say that Jason Garrett would have just kicked field goal then, and when we should have went for it, it'd have been the reverse for a lot of our fans. They look at it differently. But what's the other reason why you kicked the field goal? The common sense reason why you kicked the field goal.
Well, for one,
besides the points.
And you can hold on, excuse me. I just had a brain freeze. What'd you say?
Field position.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Field position.
If you go for it on 4th and you don't get it,
Yeah.
You know, you gave them excellent field
Now,
position.
granted, now I will say this, granted, because those first 2 drives when y'all went for it, y'all were pretty deep into our territory, which is why I didn't understand, why y'all didn't just take the field goals, because it's not like, the first couple of drives when y'all turned the ball over on downs, it's not like y'all were in y'all own territory, but still, I'm just not leaving those points on the board, especially early in the game, because that way you can have something to build off of, even if it's just 3 points. It's early in the game. You don't have to feel like that you're coming up empty on 2 drives where you were able to move the ball, because once my defense got in rhythm, and that was my one point where I said we may have a chance because we're a top 5 defense. I get even with a 4-4 record, we were still number 5 in defense. But once we got rolling, and I'm shocked because we had a boatload of injuries happen during yesterday's game. So I was just, I was happy. Did I gloat? Yes, I gloated. Yes, I'm gonna still gloat. Not because of you, but because there were Cowboy fans all around me that came at my neck. I didn't fuck with nobody this week. I left everybody alone. But that was dumb. Yesterday was dumb coaching, poor effort. Like that Javonte Williams run where he carried 3 of y'all dudes 10 yards and then got loose and ran for another 15.
You know why that was? You go back and look at that replay. You know why it was? It was 2 things. It was one, other people were saying, "Oh, well, he got him. I'm just gonna let go."
Trayvon Diggs.
And then the second thing was Justin Hamilton, who had the best opportunity. He's a 310-pound dude. You got the best opportunity to bring this dude down, but you still grabbing at the ball. Tackle the man.
Yeah.
You still grabbing at the ball.
And when he got loose, I was like, look at this. Look at this.
And I'm like, are you serious?
Oh, Trayvon Diggs.
I don't know. I just... Like you said, the poor coaching. I told you early on that it was going to come back and bite us at points. And yesterday it was clear that we were out-coached because the coach's primary job is to get his dudes motivated and put them in a position to win. They don't play. Coaches, you're right, coaches don't play. But guess what a coach's job is? If your ass is out there half-assing it, he can put you on the bench and put somebody in there that do want to really play that day.
That's why I love Mike Tomlin.
And he would not do it. He didn't do it. And I don't know. If Dan Quinn decide this week to get creative against the Broncos, Randy Gregory is an edge. But yet, he kept pushing him inside. Man, let that dude be an edge. He's a monster on the edge. Let him be an edge. Go ahead and blitz. You blitzed Michael Parsons, and that was effective. 2.5 sacks. Granted. But come on, man. Let stop trying to get cute.
I told you this about your defense. I said your defense, of course, is vastly improved from last season. They're an opportunistic defense, though. And I said there's nothing wrong with being an opportunistic defense. My team's first 2 Super Bowl defenses were very opportunistic. But if you don't get the opportunity, they can be had. They can be had. Trayvon Diggs had a horrible game yesterday, and we targeted him.
Trayvon did get a PI, an offensive PI that wasn't called on that touchdown because they weren't hand fighting down the field. There was one hand on somebody's shoulder, which allowed him to catch that ball.
You talking about Tim Patrick?
Everybody saw it.
Well,
everybody saw it. They didn't call it because it wasn't egregious.
But you know what? I saw that happen on both sides because there was one play where Dak went long to CD Lamb. Ronald Darby had great coverage. CD Lamb pushed off. Now it was an overthrow, but the first thing Darby was saying was, "What the hell?" Like he started waving his hands, like, "What the hell?" He pushed off. But like I said, that happened on both ends. Just one man caught it, the other man didn't. But still, like, it wasn't just Tim Patrick.
But all that being said, guess what? If first down passes are caught instead of dropped, I don't know how many times that happened yesterday. If the coach, if you take the points that you're given, you got field goals.
Well, plus,
if you channel Leon Lett, you block a punt, don't touch the ball.
Now that when that happened, that's when I said, I think today might be our day. Because when the punt first got blocked, I said, uh-oh. But then when I saw it go, when I saw it go forward, when I saw Ricochet, Dallas dude tried to pick it up. When I saw us pick it up, I said, wait a minute. I said, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm dead serious, when in real time what happened, I said that should be our ball. I said, because
every Cowboy knows that. Leon Lett.
Yeah, that's the old Leon Lett rule.
The ball. That's the rule.
Yeah.
Block the punt. Just let the ball go wherever it's gonna go.
Yeah.
That's it. Now the only thing I didn't know, was them not having to advance the ball to get a first down to maintain that possession.
No, you know why? Because since the punt was blocked, usually when you get a punt block, usually the ball goes backwards. In this case, it didn't. The ball went just enough past the line of scrimmage, because that's why there was such a long delay. Because the punt actually ended up going forward. It went just enough past the line of scrimmage to when your guy touched it. It was almost as if he might as well have punted. If he had punted the ball 60 yards, and let's just say the ball just happened to bounce off of Cedric Williams' ankle, and then Denver picked it up. That's exactly what happened. It's just the punt literally had a net of 1 yard because of the block, but your guy touched it, and then when my guy picked it up, now what he couldn't do was advance it. He couldn't advance the ball, but it was as if he was recovering a fumble.
Yeah, see, that's the part that I was confused about in terms of, okay, just the touch indicates a open possession.
Yes.
That anybody can retain
Yes.
it at that point.
Yes.
And then, you're not. I would have figured maybe maintaining possession, but still not having the first down. But it doesn't matter. The whole point is the rule that they teach everybody is don't touch it.
Right.
It's a live ball. Just let it be, and it'll.
Because what your man was trying to do was be slick. He was trying to grab it and score. That's what he was trying to do. And the ball it ricocheted off of him. I'm pretty sure that my guy didn't pick it up knowing the rule that, that it was a live, that once the Cowboy guy touched it, that it was a live ball, because he was trying to run it for a first down. So obviously my guy didn't know, the rule of, well, hey, he touched, because that's a bang, bang play. You're not really thinking about that at that time. All you saw was a block punt, but a block punt that happened to go forward. And luckily, the referees were right on top of it, because as soon as I saw it in real time, after I said, uh-oh, when I saw the guy from the Cowboys kind of missed the ball, but it hit him, I was like, shouldn't that be our ball? Because the punt didn't go backwards. Now, if the punt had went backwards and Cowboy guy touches it, but then Denver touches it, it's moot, null and void. Y'all get the ball back, and, y'all would have got the ball, wherever, we would tackle that. But that was a crazy play. But yeah, every Cowboy fan should know that. Yeah, that's the Leon Lett rule. And everybody in general knows, if a punt goes forward, I don't give a damn if it's just 1 yard, which that punt was 1 yard. You don't touch it. Stay away from it.
Yeah, there was a lot of. I kind of felt that way too. Once that happened, I was like, oh yeah, this is just not the day. Just not the day. And I especially have an issue with McCarthy with leaving Dak in when you're down.
Oh yeah, right.
Because you talking to me? Thibodeau, remember Derrick Rose?
Yeah.
Leaving him in, game over. You just gonna leave him in, huh?
Yeah, I mean, because
so that Dak can get some garbage stats.
yards. Yeah, he's in the garbage. He's in the garbage yards Hall of Fame. I mean, you're down 30-0 with 5 minutes left. You're not. I mean, bruh. You're not. I mean, it's over. It's a wrap. You don't even look at this game footage. You don't even look at today's game footage.
His excuse for leaving Dak in was so that he could get, reps and get a rhythm. But he's getting a rhythm against a prevent defense.
Right.
So it's not really that helpful. And to be fair, Dak didn't need rhythm. Dak was off. Yes, he was. He clearly was off because he missed a couple touchdowns.
Yeah. That's the second fourth down.
Help that Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb had balls put dead in their breadbasket and put them on the turf.
Yeah, I mean, they did, but Dak had a horrible day too, because that second fourth down in the first quarter, he just threw that ball in the dirt. I thought it was deflected, but Dak literally just threw it. Cedric Wilson would have hit his head on the goalpost. And Dak literally and it was only a 5-yard pass, and he just threw it in the dirt. I was
Man,
like,
on an earlier one, he could have just ran for the first down. Like normally, he would have just brought the ball down and just ran. He could have just ran and got it. No opposition. The closest, it was a Denver linebacker, but he was too deep to even stop that. So, but instead, he tried to hit that sideline pass. It's like I said, it was just a matter of time before we had that kind of game, and again, hopefully it's a good thing. You get one of these, and it's a wake up call that you can't sleepwalk on Sundays. You can't just come out there and assume that everything is gonna click. CD called it the best. He said we had terrible practice week. Everything that you saw in that game, that's what was happening in practice, and it shows. So that hopefully that's a wake up call for the players. Mike McCarthy, I don't know what's a wake up call for him. He got a lot of balls, and sometimes it pays off because he has the talent, but some of his decision making, it might be time that I think that they're going to overpay to keep Kellen Moore, because it might be time to move on to a different coaching scheme. So,
Kellen Moore is probably going to be a head coach somewhere else. If you keep McCarthy.
I don't think somewhere else. I think Jerry has learned his lesson in terms of that, going all the way back to Sean Payton, when he could have went ahead and promoted Sean Payton. I don't think he has that same sense of loyalty with Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy always was a placeholder in Jerry's mind, based on some of the comments that he's made. So by Kellen Moore choosing to stay there rather than explore some of these other job opportunities that were out there for him as a head coach, I think that's what it's going to be. I mean, McCarthy has next year, and that's it. So either they'll cut it 1 year earlier, or he'll overpay to keep Kellen Moore there for one more year or promote him to assistant head coach, and then go ahead and make him head coach the following year.
Okay, well,
I'm not gonna let him get out of Dallas, and he'd have made that clear. So even if he overpaying, it is what it is.
Okay, well, we're pretty much over this game. Like I said, I'm proud of my football team, and yes, this if there was a signature win that we needed up thus far to this point, this was definitely it. We are back in. We're back.
Always some freaky, disgusting something happening when we play y'all. Last time we played y'all, it was everybody blamed Tony Romo for that.
Oh no, because no, this wasn't.
But who was it? I forget who it was that stepped on his foot when he was trying to throw that pass and caused the pick.
This wasn't Dak Prescott's first time playing us. I can honestly say the two worst games I've ever seen in Dak Prescott's career has come against us, because they played us. He played us in 2017. That's the game that's the game where Zeke had 9 carries for 8 yards. Dak had 3 interceptions. The last one, Aqib Talib, took it 100 yards to the house. The last time we played y'all, we beat y'all 41-17. It was in Denver. You're talking about the last time we played y'all in Dallas, the shootout game, 52-49. Yeah, or 51-48. Yeah. I mean, that was just Tony Romo being Tony Romo. I mean, it was just. I'm not even trying to be funny. It was just a matter of time. I mean, y'all haven't beaten us since 1995. And yes, I duly note that. But as far as the grand scheme of this season, it was a game we had to have. I mean, I didn't understand why it came across last week after we traded Von Miller, almost that we were waving the white flag, because we tried to trade Kyle Fuller too. And I'm glad that we did not, particularly since Pat Surtain got hurt yesterday in the first quarter and did not return. But I don't know why it seemed like we were waving the white flag. We're right in the thick of things. We play Philadelphia next week. We should win that game. But low-key, Philly...
I'm taking Philly this week.
I was going to say, I'm not low-key, Philadelphia has been playing better. Philadelphia should have won yesterday. I think Philadelphia should have beat the Chargers.
I'm taking Philly this week because I think y'all are due for that letdown. And
well, it honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. It just wouldn't, because for one, we're a very beat up football team right now. Like, we lost 3 linemen yesterday alone, which surprised me how well we were able to run the ball, because we were down 3. We lost 3 linemen during the game. We lost our our sack leader, Malik Reed, he got hurt yesterday. Pat Surtain got hurt yesterday. We were already without Bradley Chubb. So that's why one reason why I'm so proud. I'm like, we had all of those injuries, and with 5 minutes to go, we're up 30-0 in your building. So yes, I was tickled the fuck pink.
Because they wouldn't tackle your runners, man. They trying to hug Melvin Gordon and talk to him about, something. So you all right, bro? You all right? I just wanted to hug you.
I mean, Melvin and Javonte
and then in the flat, like, I'm trying to figure out, man, Quinn, like, you're just not going to cover the flat, huh? I don't know how many Teddy Bridgewater to the flat passes came out yesterday for first downs or damn near third and shorts because of dump offs to the flat. Like, you just not going to have nobody go over there and cover.
I mean, look, we called a masterful game. We had ball control. We more than doubled y'all in time of possession. We had the ball for like 41 minutes. Y'all didn't even have the ball for 20 minutes, in the game. I mean, and this is what, I mean, I understand. Hey, look.
There's no blueprint for that. Again, somebody said this, and I agree. We do more harm to ourselves than other teams do. So there's no blueprint. If your blueprint, well, I'll say this, there's a blueprint that's a failure for us. If you coming out and you thinking we just going to pass from the gate, yeah, that's going to be a fail. Run sets up the pass. It always has been. That's
always.
Cowboys.
But when
Not that coming out and slinging it from the gate, and that's exactly what they did.
But of course, you come out, you score. But if another team play, if one team plays another, and a team is able to go on 9 and 10 minute drives and have ball control, I mean, the most I can say for the team that doesn't have all of the ball control, basically like what New England did to Kansas City the first year Patrick Mahomes was a starter. Kansas City literally had to score every possession because they kept the ball out of his hand. That AFC Championship game where Brady won in overtime, Patrick Mahomes only had the ball for 20 minutes that game. I mean, and even then they had to go to overtime because the Chiefs' offense was scoring every time they got the ball, particularly in the second half. That's anybody knows that. Ball control. That's the only blueprint that you can have for an offense like yours. Like I said, I was tickled pink that we had the number one offense held to a donut.
That is our offense, though. But that's that should be our strategy going in every game, particularly if you're starting, and you might as well say this, you're starting 2 new tackles. Because once you take Terrence Steele out of the position that he was playing the strongest in and put him in a position he hasn't played all season, he's a new tackle. So if you know that and you don't know how these dudes are going to hold up, Lyle Collins hasn't played meaningful football in how long? If you don't know, and he really didn't give up no pressure, I give him credit. But if he hasn't played, if you are uncertain how these tackles are going to play, and you got a gimpy quarterback that's coming off of being gimpy, the last thing you want to do is have him under duress early. So what do? You run the ball to slow down the pass rushers. That's what you do. They come out, they slinging the ball yesterday. And I'm like, why are you throwing? Even on the 4th down plays, they keep calling this stupid jumbo package where they just pack everybody into these little tight spaces, and all it takes is one guy to break contain on that defense to get up in that hole, and it blows that whole play up, which y'all did. That one dude got through, and it blew up
Justin Simmons. Yeah.
And I'm sitting here saying, common sense says, spread them out, put your wide outs out wide, put tight end on the end, spread everybody out, and then it's literally hat on hat at the line of scrimmage. And you have a better chance of getting that first down, especially if you put Pollard in. If you got Zeke, he can go between them tackles. But if you put Pollard in, he has a chance to at least get wide. But if everybody is packed in like that, then yeah, them safeties, them linebackers, if they get a gap, if they're competent, they're gonna stop that play.
Well, all I can say is we beat the shit out you yesterday.
So every dog has his day.
But what?
As that being said, like I said, I'll take Philly this week.
Okay. Fine with me. I mean, I might take Philly too. So I mean, it is what it is. But I wanted.
I've been a fan so long with my team. These individual losses and wins, everybody loses to everybody sometime at some point. So I ain't even that. I don't even trip.
You're right.
The only thing I ever concern myself with is how do you respond after a loss.
That's right.
It.
But one thing is, my Broncos, we tend not to lose to the Cowboys. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Aaron Rodgers.
Unless we in the Super Bowl and we've only played that game.
And I wasn't born then. I wasn't born then. I don't care. I wasn't born then.
That's the only Denver-Dallas game that actually.
I wasn't born. I wasn't born then. I could care less.
Matter of fact, in the grand scheme of things, I'm glad we lost to y'all. If it wasn't y'all, it'd have been the Raiders or the Chiefs, because these losses are meaningless.
Well, I would say that y'all gonna lose to the Raiders and Chiefs, but I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
I expect us to bounce back.
I don't know. Well, y'all got the Falcons this week. Y'all beat them.
I expect us to bounce back.
Y'all will beat the Falcons, because the Falcons piss me off, because every time I pick them to win, they kick me square in the balls. But when I pick against them, like yesterday, they find a way to win. But it is what it is. But I wanted to talk to you, Aaron Rodgers, dude.
Got no respect for him. He's a scumbag, and I say that and I feel like he should get suspended at least a game.
I agree with you.
Plain and simple. There's no two ways about it. You were being deceptive. You were purposely being deceptive. Your team allowed you to be deceptive and assisted you in being deceptive. So I believe that all parties should be punished. He should be suspended the game, and they should be fined, because he knew he was unvaccinated. They knew he was unvaccinated. Just say you're unvaccinated. Follow the NFL protocols for unvaccinated people, which means persistent testing, and then you're good. That's not what he did. He said, I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
I'm gonna be slick.
That, and that's it. And so he needs to pay for that slickness. That's it. Because if that's the case, nobody has to follow the protocols.
Right. And I said this. I talked about this earlier on the show, because when he came on Pat McAfee, I don't know if you watched his interview with Pat McAfee the day after everybody found out that he was unvaccinated. He said, well, I didn't lie when I said I had been immunized. I'm like, bruh, you lied. Matter of fact, you just told a lie right there. You got asked a direct question. Were you vaccinated? And the first thing you said was, yeah. And then you threw you threw a spin on it, and you threw a word that completely went over everybody's head, and you pretty much controlled the narrative until you got caught. And then you're gonna take a shot at Kyrie Irving and say, look, I'm not a flat earther. Look, Kyrie Irving, I don't agree with Kyrie's reasoning for wanting to be unvaccinated, but he's been honest, he's been upfront, and he hasn't done anything to Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, I'm not even mad that Aaron Rodgers is unvaccinated. I'm mad because he sat there and lied and then tried to lie again on top of the lie.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Even the play on words is irrelevant. Why? Because the NFL submitted to the NFL teams and every single NFL player employed by the NFL a COVID protocol. And in that protocol, the word immunize is not even mentioned in that. It's literally, these are the protocols. This is what you must do. This is what if you are unvaccinated, this is what you must do. Doesn't mention anything about immunize, doesn't mention about anything, ivermectin, anything about anything other than immunize, non-immunize. This is the protocol. And if you're not, vaccinated or unvaccinated, if you're not vaccinated, you're not vaccinated. There's no such thing as immunized in the NFL protocol of COVID. It doesn't exist. So because you decided to do something totally separate and this, that, and the other, and say this should be good enough for your protocol, no. That's not the rules. So, like I said, he should be suspended. He should be suspended for a game. You still can't make him get vaccinated, but you can punish him for being unvaccinated and make him submit to the NFL, because he's likely been dodging the NFL protocol this whole time.
Well, he obviously hasn't been following. He obviously hasn't been following protocol with the media, because he hasn't been wearing a mask in the media. Because what I've figured out, what I've learned about Aaron Rodgers through this situation is he's a person who does not like to be criticized, whether constructively or unconstructively. He does not like to be wrong, and he likes to control the narrative. That's what I've learned from him, because he could have just come out and said, I'm unvaccinated, but he did not want to hear people questioning, well, why aren't you vaccinated? But Carson Wentz isn't vaccinated. He took the heat. Kirk Cousins is not vaccinated. He took the heat. Lamar Jackson ain't vaccinated. He didn't caught COVID twice. He's still taking the heat, but he's still not vaccinated. So was Cole Beasley. And they've all stood on their principle and saying, no, this is why I'm not vaccinated. And they've dealt with it. They've played. They haven't missed a game due to COVID. But Aaron Rodgers wants to be Mr. Know-it-all, Mr. I'm smarter than you. If you're allergic to something in the vaccine, you just say it. And nobody's gonna shit on you for being honest. Nobody's gonna shit on you for that, because the NFL mandates aren't like the NBA. You know what I mean? And Wisconsin is not Brooklyn. So that's what I've learned about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, he does not like to be wrong. He does not like to be told he's wrong. He does not like to be criticized. And those are issues. That's issues right there. Because now you have to bring into question his whole character. Was Green Bay really wrong for doing him the way they did him? Because Green Bay probably knows they got a spoiled little bitch on their hand.
Well, see, that's why I say you got to find the organization, Green Bay, on that one too. Because in the big picture, I can't believe that they're completely out of the loop in terms of the whole COVID protocol.
They knew.
While there are unvaccinated players, mention on them, but they have a protocol for the unvaccinated players, i.e. the mask thing, the media, but also they have to submit to persistent testing. That is what they're doing in a lot of these states in terms of employment. If you're not vaccinated, then you have to submit to a testing protocol in order to continue working there. That is the same thing with the NFL. These dudes, they get tested, I don't know how many times they get tested more than the other players that are vaccinated. But they do have to submit to that testing to prove that they're not positive before they go on that playing field on Sunday. So through that week, they may get tested 2-3 times. That's another thing. Aaron Rodgers, you don't want to submit to that. I mean, maybe it's half the criticism. He don't want the criticism, and then the other half, I don't feel like, having to go get tested 3 times.
Alan Lazard. Remember, Alan Lazard and Devontae Adams missed the Cardinals game due to COVID. Alan Lazard was not vaccinated. Devontae Adams is. Everybody knew Alan Lazard was not vaccinated, so it cost him a game check. Devontae Adams got paid his game check because even though he had COVID, he'd been vaccinated. But he has teammates. He has teammates who are unvaccinated and are not trying to keep it and not trying to lie about it. I'm not even going to say keep it a secret, because if I'd have had more respect if when the reporter asked him, "Are you vaccinated?" If he had said, "That's none of your business," I'd have respected that more, instead of just flat out looking and lying through your teeth.
Yeah. Terry Bradshaw shredded him. I like his take on it, because he said what I said he's a scumbag. He said he's a scumbag, and him talking about ivermectin, he's like, dude, he's like, I'm a country boy. I've been around horses and raised horses. It's a horse dewormer. That's what it is. And he's like these crazy people out here trying to make it into something that is not, as an excuse to not get vaccinated, is ridiculous. And it is what it is. But like I said, he should face a suspension. Green Bay should get fined because they knew.
Of course they knew.
Because he would have had to submit to those tests. I promise you, Carson Wentz gets tested either 2 times or 3 times a week for COVID. You don't hear him complaining about it.
Not at all. Not at all. Same
Which
thing with Kirk Cousins. Same thing with Lamar Jackson. Same thing with Cole Beasley or any other player that has not been vaccinated. But Mr. Freethinker, I'm not a flat earther. I'm sorry. That was fucked up what he said. Trying to take that slick shot at Kyrie Irving, because Kyrie Irving ain't did nothing to him. Kyrie Irving ain't.
So my question about that is, so at what point did Green Bay upper management say to Aaron Rodgers, "So Aaron, are you vaccinated? Can you show us proof of vaccination?" Well, no, I'm immunized. So Aaron, you're scheduled to take 2 COVID tests this week, because the organizations would have to be in the loop, just in general, in conjunction with the NFL on that. So if you're not vaccinated, but you're not showing up to take these tests either.
Well, he's going to have to do it now. He got no choice now. Or he cannot play.
I'm especially salty because, I don't know, Lyle Collins, that whole testing, The NFL punish you big time for not showing to take them tests, right? Let's see.
I guarantee you the NFL's not going to suspend Aaron Rodgers, fairly or unfairly, because I agree with you. I do think he should be suspended. I think he should be suspended more than one game. I think he should be suspended 3. I do. I do. And his excuse on the Pat McAfee show was very arrogant and very entitled.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I'm not even mad that he's not vaccinated, even though, I've been consistent saying that I believe every professional athlete should be vaccinated because of what their job entails. But I'm not mad that he's not vaccinated. I'm mad of the way he went about this, trying to just be slick and lie to everybody and then try to lie on top of your lie. First of all, I didn't lie. Yes, you did. And you just told another lie, dummy. Seriously. Like, don't spit in my face and tell me that it's raining. Just because.
Yeah, because he does that, and then not that Wentz would do it, because I don't get the sense that Wentz is a scumbag like that. But what if he decided to do the same? Okay, I'm just not gonna wear a mask. I'm just not gonna do it. Why did do it? Aaron Rodgers did.
And think about it. He was all up in Kyler Murray's face after that game on Thursday night, knowing your ass ain't vaccinated. Knowing that you ain't, knowing that you're not following protocols.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
Now on to Jordan Love. I ain't seen nothing yesterday that made me say ooh or ah with Jordan Love.
Of course you didn't, because he can't get no reps really behind Aaron Rodgers. I think that kid. I think he has some potential. I just think that because he's playing with this bitter dude in front of him that doesn't want to help him come on, because in most cases backup quarterbacks get a lot of assistance from the starting quarterback. Most starting quarterbacks are confident and comfortable in their position that they will help them young guys out. Aaron Rodgers don't strike me as that. So at all, especially in this scenario. So I don't fault that one game and say this kid can't play at all. Saw him in preseason and he can play.
I'm not saying that he can't play at all, but what I'm saying is this is a replay of Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Brett Favre didn't help Aaron Rodgers with shit. But when he had to play, and he actually had to, Jordan Love actually had a few days of practice and game tape going up against a horrible defense. The first time we saw Aaron Rodgers on the field in a real game, you should remember this. It was a Thursday night game at Dallas when they hurt Brett Favre, and that's when Aaron Rodgers first came on the field, and he lit it up. They didn't win the game. They lost the game by 3, but he lit it up, and that was on no time's notice. So Jordan Love, now good for Matt LaFleur for pretty much trying to take the blame, but my thing is you're playing the Chiefs defense.
I'm still every dog has his day, and especially Andy Reid is a wily old dude. Their defense is terrible, but he knows enough to frustrate a young quarterback. Certain things are going to frustrate and make a young quarterback nervous and make them look like trash. Again, I don't look at stuff like this and say this is the trajectory of this dude's career, because we've been wrong so much.
No, yeah, I agree.
About these people where they come out and they just throw 2 for 10 for 35 yards, and then 2 years later they throwing 300-yard games.
Well, this is why I wish Aaron Rodgers would be suspended for a couple of games so we could see more of Jordan Love. Look, Green Bay is not in any danger of losing their division. Last week, I named the 3 divisions that were wrapped up. Y'all division, the NFC North, and the AFC South. Those divisions are wrapped up. The Green Bay ain't in no danger, especially Minnesota lost again. Chicago should lose tonight to Pittsburgh, but who knows? But they're not in danger of losing their division, and I do. I mean, I would like to see more of Jordan Love. Because they had the full-on arsenal of offensive weapons. Devontae was there. Lazard was there. Scantlin, it was Valdez Scantlin's first game back. The only one you didn't have was the tight end Tanyan. And if Matt LaFleur knows that he didn't call the right game, okay, good for him for owning it. But I would like to see more of Jordan Love.
They should have. And Matt LaFleur did the right thing in owning that. Why? Because as he said, he's been studying, and playing on the practice field, but he gave him the full playbook and said, here, do this, versus taking their approach. And I'm going to use San Francisco with this, what they did with Trey Lance. They dumbed down the playbook for him when he had to start. None of these young quarterbacks do I look and see bust right now at this point, because it's too early to tell. If you looked at Trevor Lawrence, this dude, like, he's just gonna be interception machine, for his career.
You know what Trevor Lawrence looks like?
That dude got capability, though.
You know what Trevor Lawrence looks like, honestly? What his rookie year reminds me of? It reminds me of Peyton Manning's rookie year. Now, I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence is going to go on to have a career like Peyton Manning, but it reminds me of Peyton Manning's rookie year as to where there was, they didn't have any training wheels on him. They just let him do him. And Peyton Manning's rookie year, they were 3-13. He had like 30 interceptions. I mean, I'm serious. Peyton Manning was a turnover machine his first year, and Urban Meyer is not limiting the playbook for Trevor Lawrence by no means, because he knew his team was going to be terrible this year. So
that's actually what you got to do. You can make that argument, old school argument of let them sit and learn and all that other stuff. But some of these guys are dumb as a brick, but some of these guys are smart as hell, and they pick it in their mind. They can pick up all the concepts and what they're supposed to do, but you actually have to let them go out there and do it under duress.
Well, I still don't have a problem with rookie quarterbacks sitting their first 1 or 2 years, depending on what organization you go to. When you go to an organization like Jacksonville that has absolutely no expectations, then throw them out there and don't limit the playbook like Urban Meyer is doing. I didn't have a problem with the Bears sitting Justin Fields because this was a playoff team a year ago. This was a playoff team 2 of the last 3 seasons. So, and they still have a very good defense. So in a case like that, or a case like a Trey Lance, I don't have a problem with them sitting. Like now again, with a case like Trevor Lawrence or Zach Wilson, I don't have a problem with them being thrown out to the wolves, because their teams were going to stink regardless. So, I mean, what
about them tweener teams that decided on the fly?
Well, look,
New England said,
I was getting ready to say, everybody not as lucky as Mac Jones right now.
right. Nothing about it. New England says, just throw them to the wolves. But you can see the playbook, or at least they design plays around this dude to maximize his strengths.
But you also have, in that specific case, you have to look at where the quarterback came from and the relationship between the college coach and the pro coach. Saban and Belichick are tight. It's no accident that he drafted Mac Jones. So that didn't surprise me one bit. See, every situation is different now. Every situation is different, because I guarantee you that if
versus somebody like Herbert, right, that they threw to the wolves, but
Herbert's good.
Pro style offense.
Yeah.
He comes to the NFL and plays what? Pro style.
Exactly.
Offense.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. Next person I want to mention, Odell Beckham.
Odell Scrub.
Odell what?
Right now, Odell is a scrub. Until Odell proves Odell can channel old Odell, he's a scrub. He's a name. He's a nobody. The Raiders will pick him up.
No, they just got Deshaun Jackson.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
cheaper. So
he's still to be determined.
Right.
And I don't know. I mean, if I'm a contender, and I have some playing time for a third wide receiver, got 2 dominant 1 and 2 receivers, then I maybe take a flyer on him, just to see if I can spare it.
So what do you think about New Orleans?
Just to see. I mean, why not? New Orleans would be a maybe a decent situation for him. Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, I could too, even though, you know, you got Simeon and not Jameis, because, you know, contrary to what anybody would have thought, Jameis was actually playing very well, you know, up to the injury. He was 14 touchdowns and 3 interceptions at the time that he got hurt. So the turnover, Sean Payton, up to that point, had gotten the turnovers under control. Now, I actually am a believer in Trevor Simeon. I don't know why he waited so late to decide to play football yesterday. But I think that'd be a good spot for Odell, just because, for one, he would come in there and immediately be the number 1 wide receiver, since Michael Thomas ain't playing this season, since he came out and said that he's not playing this season. So he would immediately come and be the number 1. And, yeah, I mean, like I said, I thought the Raiders too, but then, like I said, Deshaun Jackson's going to the Raiders. Deshaun is cheaper. He's cheaper and he's still faster. I heard possibly, I've heard rumors about the Rams. I hope he does not go to the Rams. Just because I could see him kind of effing that situation up. I've heard the Rams. I actually have heard the Packers. And I've heard Buffalo. But who knows? I suspect he'll be signed this week, but I'm pretty sure this is his last chance. You know, this is his last chance. Like, he's not, like, nobody's gonna, you know, he was the good soldier in Cleveland because of how idiotic he acted in New York. But, you know, he better hope he can channel his inner Randy Moss and go on a team and resurrect his career the way Moss did when he got to New England.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see one of those franchises him going to. Again, right now, Odell, to me, he's nobody. So if either one of them team pick, he's an afterthought until he becomes more than an afterthought.
I'm going to be honest. If I was Odell, I would be asking to go to Seattle.
I was thinking that too. That would be a good situation for him because, well, 2 out of 3. Simeon less so, but Green Bay and Seattle, these are quarterbacks that can turn a scrub into a serviceable guy. And if you got any game left, Odell, we gonna see it. If you go to either one of them places, we gonna see it or we won't.
Because I actually believe that Seattle, you know, I think Russ might be back this week. I actually think Seattle is gonna make a run and grab that final wild card spot. I do. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into that. Let me pull up these games. This was week 9, right? Yeah, this was week 9. So let's see. I gotta pull up the schedule. Come on. But yeah, it was a lot of upsets. Yeah, we ended up being wrong on quite a few picks, but so was the world. I tell you what game I wasn't wrong about. I wasn't wrong about Denver, goddammit. Yeah. I'm messing with you. But anyway,
Messing with me, that's the trip part. You think you messing with me, but unfortunately, you got to find one of these other jokers that actually let that type of stuff get in.
Oh, I already have.
None of that bothers me.
I already have.
In the big picture, every dog has his day. Everybody gonna lose to somebody sometime, and it just, it is what it is.
You know why I already have? You know why it has messed with people? Because those people were messing with me. I didn't bother. Like I said, I didn't bother nobody.
I don't ever get frustrated because my team loses to another team. I get frustrated because of the lack of effort or the mistakes that my team makes or the refusal to get better in certain areas or address certain areas that my team does. That's all that you can control. You can't control what the other team does, don't do, whatever. That's it. So I don't, that stuff don't bother me. Smack talk in terms of that don't bother me. Never has.
Well, the Thursday night game is Baltimore at Miami. It's crazy because Tua comes in, plays good. Dolphins find ways to lose. Tua breaks his finger. They put Jacoby Brissett in the game and they win yesterday. Go figure.
Jacoby is a middle tier bus driver dude. You got a competent defense. All you gotta do is stay in the game. All you gotta do is stay in the game. And Jacoby can do enough to win the game. Was he the answer long term in other places like Indianapolis and this now? But he was good enough to see them into the playoffs and give them chances to win.
He never take Indianapolis to the playoffs. What you talking about?
That's it. I could have sworn that before Philip
Oh,
Rivers
man.
came in, Indianapolis didn't Kobe didn't squeak them into the playoffs.
No, sir. No, sir. Why do you think they went and bought in Philip Rivers?
Well, I mean, I understand that, but squeaking into the playoffs versus actually making a Super Bowl run, I never see that with Jacoby. But I never really had a problem with him being a backup quarterback.
Yeah, I mean that's what he is. That's what he
again,
is.
If he was on your roster as your backup quarterback, you felt confident.
I would feel good.
And take a week off, right?
I would feel good because he has so much experience as a starter.
So but this week, I think they're overmatched just in general. Some take the Ravens on that one. I think they're the Viking thing. That should have been an L the Ravens took. I just don't see them taking the L this week.
I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm taking the Ravens too. But when I think about the MVP race, I really, honestly, really think it should be, since Derrick Henry's gotten hurt, I really think it should be Lamar Jackson. Because I know
there's a lot of football left to be played.
Yeah.
That's too early. That's
we're
too early.
in midseason. We're in
Football left to
midseason.
be played.
I would say right now my midseason MVP would be Lamar Jackson.
It's a lot of football to be played. Some would say it's Kyler Murray. Some would
say it's Tom Brady, and they're gonna try to give it to Tom Brady because how the hell Tom Brady doesn't play yesterday? Huh?
There's a lot of guys that are in the conversation, and their respective impacts on their teams are similar. So it's kind of hard to say. Because my question immediately, the difference, what's the difference? Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson. You have similar play styles. Both of those guys have had that dramatic impact on their teams. Yeah, Arizona won without Kyler Murray yesterday, but just in general, you wouldn't want to do that long term.
That's starting to worry me with Kyler though, because one thing that I'm noticing, even though he more or less looks like the Russell Wilson version of, going to the Russell Wilson school of how to, evade the big hit, he gets hurt a lot more.
Yeah, we ain't exactly, he ain't exactly.
I know he's a little dude.
Yeah, so a little different. You look at Lamar Jackson's neck, his neck looked like some linebacker.
He looked neck like Mike Tyson.
Right. So, yeah, a little different there.
But on to the Sunday games. Atlanta at Dallas. I'm going to go with Dallas to bounce back. I will not. I refuse to pick the Falcons.
Yeah, we're gonna bounce back, and Quinn knows Ryan, so he'll come up with some scheme to pressure Ryan. I submit that he does need to keep Randy Gregory on that edge, though. Keep him on that edge, and keep blitzing Michael Parsons. But I think we'll be better this week.
New Orleans at Tennessee.
While I do give Tennessee credit for what they pulled off, I think the Saints a little different. They're a little different. It's about an evenly matched game.
It really is, right? It really is.
But I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Peyton, and I think they'll scheme better. So I'm gonna take the Saints in that one.
I'm gonna go with the Saints too, because it just feels like, I'm pretty sure Tennessee is going to be the favorite because of the quarterback situation. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Saints. I think the Saints are going because the Saints defense doesn't get enough credit. Even though they lost yesterday, they don't get enough credit for how good they actually really are. Jacksonville versus Indy.
Colts.
Yeah, same here. Colts. Cleveland at New England.
Patriots.
I agree. I think you better watch out for the Patriots. I think the Patriots. Remember how I told you I didn't want to summarily give the division to Buffalo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at them standings right now. I think the Patriots are about to go on a run. Buffalo at New York at the Jets.
Yeah, I think
Right.
the Bills will- exactly.
Okay.
I don't see no 9-6 in the future for you there, Jets.
Buffalo better win because they embarrassed. They have to be embarrassed right now. Honestly. Detroit, your Lions at the Steelers.
My Lions at the Steelers. I think the Steelers are smelling themselves right now. Although there's a chance the Bears beat them tonight, I think they put it together enough now that they should win.
Yeah, I'm not picking that. I'll let you talk me into picking Detroit to beat the Eagles, and they got humiliated. I'm not picking Detroit.
I still don't understand that one.
Yeah, I'm not picking
Your
Detroit.
reputation, Detroit. Your reputation is being in the games to the end, and something happened. You getting blown out.
Yeah, that was a scrimmage game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm picking Pittsburgh. Let's see. Tampa at Washington.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Bucks. They're coming off a week rest. I'm gonna take the Bucks.
Well, both teams are coming off of a bye, but I mean, yeah, I don't trust. I mean,
well, it's only more it's more relevant with Tampa because they got the old heads.
yeah,
So,
Tampa's
take
gonna
the
win.
Bucks.
And that's what annoyed me so much about the Saints' loss to the Falcons yesterday. Because if the Saints won, they'd have been in first place. Based on the head-to-head with Tampa. Let's see. Carolina at Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona.
Yeah, Sam Darnold sucks.
Yeah, that experiment is a failure.
Yeah, he stinks. He really does. I'm going Arizona. Minnesota at the Chargers. Boy, this sounds like a game that Minnesota going to find a way to lose.
I'm going to take the San Diego Superchargers there. I think that's one of those games. On paper, talent, just pure talent, it's an evenly matched game. But Minnesota, like you said, they're going to find a way. They're going to find a way to lose it.
Dude, they're not San Diego. They're Los Angeles.
Okay. They're always going to be the San Diego Superchargers to me. But okay.
Yes, I'm going with the Chargers too because one thing I have learned about the Minnesota Vikings this year, you can't trust them. The Eagles at the Broncos. You've already said you're going Philly.
Oh, yeah, I'm taking Philly.
Okay.
I'm taking Philly in that one.
All right. I'm going.
If they play as good as they played against the Chargers, they can beat y'all. If not, if Hurts, regresses, then it'll be a walkover.
I don't disagree with you. We're a very banged up football team, but I'm gonna roll. I'm a ride with my boys. I'm going Denver. I'm gonna go Denver, and we gonna win our third straight game. So let's see. Seattle at Green Bay.
Only because I detest them right now because of the whole air. I'm gonna take Seattle. I'm gonna take Seattle.
All right, well, we're gonna disagree on this one. I'm gonna take the Packers. I'm gonna take Green Bay, even though I agree with you about Aaron Rodgers. He should be suspended.
Well, see, that's the thing. You're assuming that Aaron Rodgers, he has to pass protocol. So you're assuming that he's gonna be the quarterback. I'm thinking as if he's not gonna be the starting quarterback.
Okay, you could be right.
Yeah,
Okay.
He can't play. I mean, that's one of them you might have to change midweek. But
I
right now,
might.
He's out.
I might.
Yeah.
The Sunday night game, the Chiefs at the Raiders.
Whew.
Yeah, tough one, right?
Yeah, and the Raiders been kind of sliding, but they're gonna beat the Chiefs.
I agree with you. I think the Raiders are going to win this game. People have been talking about the Chiefs' defense. You played Daniel Jones and Jordan Love the last 2 weeks. Don't play yourself.
Yeah.
So I do think that the Raiders will bounce back and win this game. And next Monday night's game, the Rams at the 49ers.
Yeah, it should be the Rams.
Yeah, I'm going with the Rams too, and they're gonna make that seat for Kyle Shanahan even more hotter. And the 49ers will lose their 10th straight home game. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, that's bananas. How the hell have you lost your last 9 home games? Like, what?
It's interesting, though, but this season in particular, home has not been safe for pretty much anybody.
No, it
there's
hasn't.
no home field advantage.
No, it definitely hasn't. I mean, we damn sure ain't been shit. What, we lost 4, half of them been at home.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, but, you know, when I look at places that are like, you know, like huge places that are like really, you know, landmark places like Dallas Stadium or SoFi, you know, there's not going to really be a home field advantage because that crowd in Dallas was 50-50 yesterday. That's one thing that I noticed is that them Bronco fans was loud up in there. Like, and anytime the Chargers play, they might as well not have a fan base.
But that was an anomaly. That was an anomaly. With the Chargers, it's because they really the San Diego Superchargers. That's what I was trying to tell you. they really the San Diego, because they're located where they are, they got fan bases from, you know, all around. So, you know, they play that like team. If they, for instance, the Chargers play the Raiders, whose stadium is that?
Oh, that's going to be a Raider game.
Yeah, I mean, so, and that's true with any, but here's the trip part. Cowboys travel to Arizona later on this season.
Oh, it's gonna be. Oh, the Cowboy fans is gonna be out there.
There you go. So even though it's Arizona, so it's that happens. That happens. But generally speaking, I mean, in our stadium, that's about all. You're not gonna see too many other. If we play the Chiefs, well, we do play the Chiefs, and if it was at Dallas, then yeah, you might see a bunch of Chiefs fans because of location.
Vice versa, though, because you know the Packers, Steelers, and the Cowboys, their fans travel the best out of any team in the NFL. Any teams in the NFL.
Right.
Those 3 teams, their fans travel. You know, they really do.
And then the commonality between those 2 teams in particular, Chiefs and Cowboys, their connection is forever. In NFL, you know, there wouldn't be a Dallas Cowboys if it weren't for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Right. Yep.
Because they were the Dallas team.
Right.
That moved. So.
Very true. Very true. Oh, man. Did you catch the Canelo fight? Or did you hear about it?
I told you what I thought. I made my pick on it, and it came to fruition.
Yeah, I saw the fight. I watched the fight. I didn't order it. No, but I found a link where I could watch it, and it was a pretty good fight. But Caleb Plant, he didn't do it was like no power behind his punches. He could box. He could box. I mean, the fight was. I mean, going headed into the championship rounds, you could make a case that either fighter was up maybe one. You know, but heading to the 11th round, you could make a case that the fight could have been dead even. But Caleb Plant had no power to bother Canelo to keep Canelo off of his ass.
Right.
I mean, he had no. I mean, he was. You know, he's throwing arm punches. You know, some of them were quick, some of them were flashy, but I'm like, he's not. What's the first thing I was saying in the fight? He's not hurting him, because I don't think I'm not on Canelo like everybody else is on Canelo, because I see him as very beatable. I think he lost both of those fights to Gennady Golovkin. I do. I really think he lost. If you go back and watch those fights, you'd be like, really? Like, honestly, I really think he lost both of those fights, but. He has to get into the ring with a guy who's going to push him, because one thing about Canelo, he's a slow starter. I mean, rounds 1 through 3 are there to be had, but you have to put some hurt on that, dude. I would like to see him fight one of the Charlo twins. I would, because these guys that he's fighting with alphabet title belts, they ain't doing nothing to hurt that dude. They ain't doing nothing to try to put hurt on him. You know, I'm watching Caleb Plant throw pity pat punches. That's why I'm glad I ain't order that damn shit. Honestly, the fight I'm ordering is in 2 weeks. Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter. That's gonna be a fight. But
well, I told you, boxing ain't been my thing for years, and when people call me, well, it's just because you're nostalgic and this, that, and that. I was like, yeah, but they were just better quality fights with better quality fighters, but they were just better quality fights, and just in general. And on that same boxing note, like I said, I think and Logan Paul talking about he willing to sign a waiver about no knockout rules. Okay, go ahead, please do that.
You should have seen the weigh-in.
Mike can knock you out, and that'll be that. And we may not have to see any more of this celebrity fight crap with you. You know what I mean?
You should have seen the weigh-in the day before between Plant and Canelo. They got on the scales, then they were doing the stare down. They were jawing, they were talking shit. And who steps in between them and gets on the scale looking ripped? Mike. and everybody just started screaming and cheering. He just looked at both of them and was like, all right, y'all shut up. You know, the champ is here. He just, and nobody stopped him. He just stepped on the scale. Everybody started screaming. Tyson looked cut as hell, like he was about to get in the ring. It's like, I was like, that's my boy. That's my boy.
Yeah, he gonna kill him. I like I forget where it was. I think it was a Pistons game. Where Hitman was at the Pistons game.
Oh, Tommy.
Yeah, and they were talking to him and asking his opinion about different things in terms of boxing, and you know, he said, I'm gonna pass on comment on that. He was like, it's a different era. These guys,
yeah,
you
it
know,
is.
they think different. Because they asked him how would he fare in, you know, the modern era.
Oh my God.
You know,
He would beat all of them.
But he made a comment. He said, see, back in the day, we wouldn't allow nobody to run the whole fight.
Right.
He said, that's all I'm going to say about that.
I don't know if you saw it.
That was him throwing it at Mayweather or whatever, but he was just saying, you know, you can't run forever against real boxers.
No. I don't know if you saw it about a month ago, but Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns were in the same venue, and they were being interviewed, and Sugar Ray said something that really the public knew, but it was good for Ray to man up. He came out, he said that right there. He said, you know, Tommy won that fight. He said he won that second fight. You know, their second fight in '89, that was a draw.
Right.
Ray Leonard came out. He said Tommy won that fight, and Tommy said, "Look at me and say that." He did. He did. He said, "Look at me and say that." And Ray looked right at him. He said, "You won that fight." And they gave each other a hug. And Tommy said, "That's why this is my guy." He said, "That's my man right here." But he did, and I thought that was big of Ray, because that was one of the biggest robberies that I've ever seen. And I remember being a kid. I was like 5 years old watching that fight, and I was like, "Sugar Ray Leonard lost." But they called. I mean, it was a great fight, but I thought that was big of Ray to say that to Tommy.
I think that those guys really, it doesn't take away from their legacy, and it don't diminish them in no way, because they were all great fights and great fighters.
Yeah.
So even when you look at Muhammad Ali, it wasn't no shame in him losing to Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier was a boxer for real. Like, so, it wasn't no shame. But all you ever hear in terms of that is, well, Ali beat Foreman, and Foreman decimated Frazier.
Styles make fights, though, man.
That means nothing, because Ken Norton used to give Ali all he wanted.
Right.
So, but against a Joe Frazier, a little different.
A lot of people don't talk about that trilogy, Ali and Norton's trilogy.
Right. So it's all relevant. It's all relevant. They're all great fighters, and at their age, you can't diminish none of them by something like that. You just can't. That was a personal thing between them two, and they just happened to air it in the public forum. But it was a personal thing between them two, and that's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing to beef about. It's Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. What is there to beef about? Both of them great players. Both of them got accomplished resumes, and both of them, they did what they did against each other. Just leave it at that. It is what it is. It's only the fools like Mayweather. I'm the best. I'm the best at it. I can beat anybody. Them dudes back then couldn't even beat me. But yeah, okay.
Oh, please.
Chump.
Please.
Chump. They'd have killed you. Hearns would have killed you.
Yes.
Duran would have killed you.
Yes.
Sugar Ray would have killed
Hagler.
you. Boy would have killed you.
Sweet Pea.
Sweet Pea would have killed you. It's so many murderers row.
Yeah.
The dudes that you never had to face.
Yeah.
Stop it. couldn't stop it.
Right, exactly.
They can brag. They ran the gauntlet. You know what I mean? And they got losses because they had to run a gauntlet.
Yeah, they had to fight each other.
Exactly. That's the gauntlet. Exactly.
Yeah.
What's your gauntlet? They whether like.
I mean, Duran beats Leonard. Hearns sleeps Duran. Right, but that right hand. Hearns sleeps Duran, but then Leonard beats Hearns. You know, it's just how you had to do it.
Right. You didn't pick and choose, like, fight once every 2 years.
Oh, no.
Turning down fights because I want this dude to get independently tested and all this other mess. Come on, man. Stop stalling out. Stop.
Like Sugar Ray was the only person who would take.
You're not the greatest.
Yeah, Sugar Ray was the only person who wouldn't fight on a regular basis after the eye injury. But when he came back to fight, he fought everybody. He still fought Hagler. He still fought Hearns twice. He fought Duran 3 times. You know, so he didn't run from anybody. Anybody.
You aren't the greatest, Sweet Pea. Ali wasn't even the greatest. In terms of boxing, who it really is the greatest? That's an individual thing, and Light didn't get a chance to fight Light through history. However, Ali earned that greatest as the greatest sportsman, period. You know, in the ring, out of the ring. That's what, not because he was necessarily the greatest boxer. There's arguments to that. There's legitimate arguments.
You could make an argument for Sugar Ray Robinson. You could make an argument for Jack Johnson. I mean,
yes, sir. Yeah. There's a lot in terms of that, but as far as recognizability and sports, there's only 2 names. That right now, there's only 2 names: Jordan, Ali, that are known worldwide. No matter where you go, they know who Muhammad Ali is.
I would say I would throw, if you're gonna say worldwide, I would throw Tyson in there.
You think Mike Tyson is known worldwide?
Oh, absolutely.
In the same sense that Ali?
No, not in the same content. But what I'm saying, there's Mike Tyson. You know, needs no introduction the world over. That's all I mean.
You might be right. And I only say that because of Street Fighter.
Bullrog.
The original Street. That was him. That was
Mike
I know. Tyson. His camp sued him, and they changed Balrog into what they made. They made Balrog the green dude.
No. They kept What they sued him.
It was M. Bison.
It was M. Bison. Yeah.
M. Bison.
Yeah.
And they made M. Bison into was Vega.
They made him. Well, they changed. Yeah. Right.
And then they created a whole nother character with the claw and made him somebody else. But anyway, all that's near the Street Fighter. And so
you gotta look at the Simpsons too. Drederick Tatum.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe he was. Yeah. Maybe I get that. Maybe Mike Tyson is probably, everybody would know him. You know, by name. But yeah. So that's where I think Ali comes in, just in general. But I am looking forward to seeing Mike Tyson crush Paul, just because, you know. Just because.
Well, see, he's still talking about fighting Lennox Lewis first. You haven't heard that?
Yeah, I've heard it, but I think the Paul thing is probably going to happen. The Lennox, I don't know if it may happen. I'd be interested to see that on a moderate level, because we've seen where Mike still is. We don't know where Lennox Lewis actually is.
Yeah, right.
So he might be close to Holyfield.
No, I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to go that. Holyfield looked pathetic. But then again, you know,
he didn't actually look pathetic. When you looked at him, he looked fine.
No, I'm talking about as far as in the ring.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know where, you know, we don't know.
Well, I mean, but see, Holyfield
might look, once he get in there, he might look closer to Holyfield.
But see, where Holyfield made his mistake at, he fought at light heavyweight. He never in his career fought at light heavyweight. Like, remember, he took the place of Oscar De La Hoya. You know, that was supposed to be De La Hoya fighting that guy. So I'm like, dude, at 58 years old, you're going to go to a weight class smaller that you've ever fought before in your career? Dude, I didn't like that from jump. I never liked that. Because the older you get, you can't drop weight and then, no. I mean, that Holyfield looked chiseled. He looked in great shape, but he looked listless. I mean, now, if that's Lennox Lewis, I don't know if Mike Tyson will have any mercy on him. But then again, he might, because he damn sure had mercy on Roy Jones.
Yeah, and the advantage. I mean, you get the height and all that advantage to Lennox. He can keep marking with the jab, but it might get up in him, get up inside. It's over. You'll take the rib shots and it's over.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how the young fight. If they were young, that's exactly how the fight would have went. Lennox was good with that jab and using them hard.
Well, it's not like they didn't fight. Lennox knocked Mike out.
Yeah, but
you're talking prime Tyson? Okay, I got it.
Right, we're looking at we talking about two different Mike Tysons.
Okay.
Yeah, and legitimately during his career, he was two guys.
Yeah. Yo, you see, you're talking prime Tyson, not 2002 overweight Mike Tyson. I got you.
Nah, yeah, we talking about the real Mike Tyson.
I got
the one that everybody knows is his reputation precedes him, not the other one that people want to forget about.
The guy who just was there to get a check. I got you.
Exactly. People put that guy in the same vein as Ali Larry Holmes.
No,
because Ali was a shell.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
But yet Larry Holmes was selling. Yeah, I beat Muhammad Ali. No, you didn't.
Yeah, but that's Larry Holmes is another one who I didn't feel ever got enough credit. Larry Holmes to me is a top 5 heavyweight of all time. He just you followed such a great. I mean, Ali was a once in a lifetime figure, and he was the champion after that, and that's tough. That's hard. You know, and Larry Holmes didn't.
You think Larry Holmes is top 5 all time?
Oh yes.
You to name Jack Johnson.
Oh yes.
Like that.
Yes. I think he's a top 5 all time. Yes.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I'm a boxing head. Absolutely. I would side. Yes, I would put Larry Holmes in the top 5. I would put Frazier. I would put Frazier. Maybe top 10. Maybe
top 10.
Yeah, maybe.
Larry Holmes. Oh,
Larry Holmes, man. I'm telling you, Larry Holmes.
I literally have never heard that before.
I've studied these. I've studied these dudes' career. Larry Holmes, why Larry Holmes never got the credit that he really deserved was because he didn't have that personality. You know, the personality, it was not there. Like the best thing that followed Muhammad Ali as far as personality wise in boxing was Sugar Ray Leonard. It was not Larry Holmes, even though Larry Holmes made 20 defenses of the title and he fought everybody. He didn't duck anybody, and he got robbed in the Michael Spinks fight, and everybody knows it. But it's Larry Holmes was a bland, blah personality. People didn't really start, really fucking with Larry Holmes till he came back in his 40s, and he was really doing the same thing then in his 40s that he was doing in his 30s and 20s. But it was just now he's in his 40s. You look at this old guy fight. Oh, this old guy is clowning, but he's kicking these young dudes' ass. So it was more appealing then. But yes, I will put Larry Holmes top 5 heavyweight. Absolutely. And greatest jab of all time. Greatest left jab of all time. Yes, I would. Absolutely.
That's interesting.
Absolutely.
That's, first times I've heard that.
Absolutely. I mean, look who Larry Holmes trained with.
I don't think anybody takes away from Larry Holmes, but I think that, again.
But look who Holmes trained with. Look who he trained with. He trained with Ali. Ali taught him.
I get that. I still have never heard Larry Holmes been considered top 5
heavyweight all time.
Heavyweights, yes. Top 5.
I'm telling you, top 5. Yes, top 5 heavyweight.
So then the question becomes, who's your other 4? Besides Ali, who's your other 3?
Of all time, I would say Jack Johnson. I would say Jack Johnson, Joe Louis. Let me think. Yes, Ali, Holmes, Jack Johnson, Joe Louis, and because I can't. As much as I love Mike Tyson, he's my favorite, but I can't put him as a top 5 heavyweight of all time. I have to get back to you on number 5. But yes, Larry Holmes is in there. Definitely, Larry Holmes is in there.
Because I think both Jack Johnson and Joe Louis fall under that Bill Russell umbrella. But okay, you fight who's in front of you, and your record is compiled based on that. But I don't know if the gauntlet was present as much.
Well, if you look at Jack Johnson's career, I mean, now you're going through a time where white people shuddered at the fact of there being a black heavyweight champion. They tried everything in the world to take that title from him. Age took the title from him. You do know Jack Johnson was a fugitive while he was the heavyweight champion of the world.
I know all about Jack Johnson, but again, the opposition, the racial opposition, and all that stuff—that's a testament to the man, not necessarily the fighting skills of the man. And I say the gauntlet because we were just talking about Mayweather and his accomplishment, but he didn't run the gauntlet for that accomplishment. The contemporaries of these guys are how I judge them. Joe Louis' main contemporary, who?
You said his main contemporary?
Main contemporary fighter. What he's
James Braddock. Of course, Max Schmeling, because he lost the first Max Schmeling fight. He's another one where age, more or less, when he lost to Rocky Marciano, he was a shell of himself.
Right.
So and that's been
a thing with Rocky Marciano. The combo of fixed fights.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
And the level of competition that he beat. At that time, it's hard to assess them dudes.
Well, remember all of the heat that Larry Holmes, that came to Larry Holmes, after he lost the first Spinks fight. And I think that was not, it was no coincidence that he was about to tie Rocky Marciano's record as far as for the best start to a career. And, he was asked the question, well, does it bother you now that you missed out on the chance to tie Rocky Marciano's record? He said, well, to be quite honest with you, Rocky Marciano couldn't carry my jockstrap. And he couldn't. You're right about that competition thing, especially when you talk about Rocky Marciano. That you see, I didn't name him as a top 5 heavyweight, and he retired undefeated. Well, he unfortunately he passed. That's why because he was actually getting ready to come back to boxing. He was only 32 years old. But of course, I know 32 years old in boxing back then was damn near a dinosaur. But he wouldn't. But like I said, I have to get back to you on number 5 because there's a list of names that I could throw out there. Honestly, as far as number 5, I could throw out there Evander Holyfield because he won the heavyweight championship 4 times. I could throw out Floyd Patterson. He was the first to regain the heavyweight championship of the world. I have to really sit and think about that one. But do I have Holmes on my top 5? Yep. You're damn right. You damn Skippy. I think Larry Holmes was better than George Foreman.
Okay. I mean, they beat some like opponents. People like, Leon Spinks and Trevor Burbick and Jerry Cooney. A lot of those names are the same names that you find on Ali's body count. Who's that? Didn't he beat Ernie Shavers too?
He beat Ernie Shavers twice.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, and this mind you, this was the golden age of heavyweights, and he dominated it.
Well, no, that wasn't the goal because a lot of them dudes were older.
I get it. I understand, but it's the heavyweight division was still the most relevant division in boxing outside of Ray Leonard when Larry Holmes had his 7-year reign as champion. I mean, he beat Ken Norton. He beat Ken Norton. He beat Ernie Shavers twice. He beat Mike Weaver. He beat Carl the Truth Williams. He beat Burbick. He beat Cooney. In the biggest grossing fight ever still to this day. I mean, look, just because you didn't like
Holmes, I'll say this about your top 5 Valero. I disagree. I think he's one of the best heavyweights ever. I don't know if he's top 5, but what I will say, he came in a perfect storm in between eras, so to speak. He was at the beginning of the tail end of a bunch of people's career, and before some of these other people. He was at
the end of the Ali era and right before the Tyson era.
Right, because that's why they share those like opponents. Some of the same people that him and Ali beat is some of the same people that Mike Tyson laid out.
Yeah.
But all that being said, I like Larry Holmes, but I don't think he's top 5.
No, that's cool. Like I said, that's my
I think
opinion.
he's top 10. I think he's top 10.
Okay. Hey,
But
okay.
not top 5.
All right.
It's just too many. It's too many dudes. It's too many people, and I think some of them same people. For instance, I give you a perfect example of how I look at things in terms of that. Prime Lennox Lewis, I believe, would be prime Larry Holmes.
I disagree. Actually,
Because I don't know that Larry Holmes' jab would be that effective against a Lennox Lewis.
I understand because they are the same size. Lennox may be a half an inch taller, but Larry Holmes was deceptively quick. I think it would be a very good fight, but and plus Lennox Lewis did not have the greatest chin either. So
And then
you walk
And then
into
let's take a transplant from another era and put them in the same situation. Prime George Foreman against Larry Holmes. I don't think that fight is advantageous to Larry Holmes.
like I said, I've watched George Foreman's, the pre-minister career. I still think Holmes was better. I understand he was as menacing and scary a figure as Mike Tyson when he was young, but his you know why Larry Holmes would beat him? Because of Foreman's technique, which is why Muhammad Ali beat him. Now, I'm not saying Larry Holmes would do the rope-a-dope, but because
I was gonna say Muhammad Ali got CTE that night.
no, he got CTE in Manila. That's when he got the damn CTE, because him and Frazier were literally trying to kill each other.
Okay. They try to kill each other anyway, but
I know, but that fight. But think about it. That fight with Foreman only went 7 rounds. Muhammad Ali was ready to quit before the last round, but Angelo Dundee looked over and saw Eddie Futch cutting Joe Frazier's gloves off. So he said, "Look, listen, just stand up. You're gonna win." Frazier didn't come out for the 15th round. Ali did not want to come. He came out and said that public. He did not want to come out for the 15th round. Neither one of them did. Frazier just didn't. That's all. That's all. That was I watched that fight a few times. That was a war. That was real life Rocky movie. But anyway, let me get out of here, bro. Get ready to get these kids some dinner.
I got a parting shot for your listener. If you haven't, it's a decent movie. It was really, I thought it was well done. You don't see them often. We haven't really seen one since maybe Black Cowboy movie, The Harder They Fall.
I've seen it. Very good movie. I saw it with Idris Elba. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was different.
Yeah, I liked
I
it.
had issues with it, clearly.
Yeah.
I had issues with it, like some of the same issues that others had. I love Zazie. That is Zazie Beetz' Bay. But Zazie Beetz is not Stagecoach Mary. She is not dark-skinned. She is not big bone. Nor is she menacing. Nor she played the damsel in distress. That's contrary to the reputation that Stagecoach Mary earned.
Zazie Beetz is fine as a bull.
People. It was based on historical people, so if you're going to display them accurately, or as close to accurate as you can get. Delroy Lindo is a great, really good actor, so he played Bass Reeves really well.
Yeah, Delroy, that's my guy.
But some of the other roles I had questions about, and even the whole. Actually, I ain't gonna lie. At one point in the movie, I did ask a question. I asked my wife like 3 times. Where white people at? Like, you go to all these black towns, where white people at? The only white people we saw was at the very beginning when the soldiers were on the train. And then we saw some white people mysteriously just randomly appear in the town as part of Rufus Buck's gang. All of a sudden, they went from like 8 people deep to like 25 people. And some of them was white dudes. I was like, where they come from? But, other than that, it was a decent movie.
Yeah, I liked it. I did. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
So, just wanted to throw that out there.
All right, well, brother.
People say I ain't in the Western, so I don't want to watch it. But don't look at it in the context of being a Western.
Okay. Well, pardon shot sent. It's gonna be in the clouds. But all right, brother. Have fun as always. You know, you took your L like a man.
No, they took the L. I don't play football for the Dallas Cowboys.
I know that's right.
And that's it. You know what I mean? So it's I don't get paid to play the game. I just watch, and that's that. I don't get no proceeds from watching the game. I make my observations as a casual couch coach, and that's what it is. But I have no doubt because I know the personnel, the players. Despite what I may feel about Mike McCarthy, Dak Prescott's a prideful dude. I know Amari Cooper, he's a quiet dude, but he's a prideful dude too. I mean, C.D. Lamb's an egotistical dude. So Zeke, same thing, prideful dude. So I have no doubt that they'll
egotistical
show
too.
up. And yeah, I have no doubt that they'll show up and show out.
Oh yeah, they'll beat the Falcons. They'll beat the crap out the Falcons. I don't have any doubt about. I don't have any doubt about that. If you ask me, Atlanta's overachieving right now, because if the playoffs started today, they would be the 7th seed. So but anyway, but yes. Until next time, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Later.
All right, my man Tony. You know how we get down. Yeah, you know how we get down, and very fun. Enjoyed the boxing talk, though. Really enjoyed the boxing conversation, because I don't get to really have a lot of those with people, at least on this show, like talking about it. But anyway, wet a buzzard, wet a buzzer, wet a buzzard. Oh, it's been such a triumphant day. This was a triumphant Monday. It just really was. I ain't had no problems with watching none of my sports shows in the morning. Oh, my goodness. Just such a oh, boy, I swear, I just tip my cap to the NFL yesterday. Oh, my goodness. Oh, you Dallas Cowboys, y'all can go to hell. And you know why? Everybody boasts so much about beating the Cowboys is because your fan base stinks. Your fan base is annoying. Your fan base is disgusting. You make people want to come at y'all neck. So you got what you deserve. And all you little Cowboy fans that tried to come in my neck and I ain't bother nobody, you got exactly what the hell you deserve. But anyhow, this has been another episode of Sports Plus Life. Definitely don't hesitate to hit that subscription button and become part of the Sports Plus Life family. It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns. I'm out this beer. Peace. I love y'all.